What's up? Andrew Pollock here, co-founder, CEO at leadPops.com. We're doing a Dartboard Marketing video to talk about useless SEO companies. They're all over the place. I don't want to paint the whole industry with that brush. There's some really good people and businesses out there that help with search engine optimization, SEO, but there's a whole lot of people out there that will just take your money and do a whole lot of nothing. And it's really important to understand what you're signing up for, what you're paying for, and asking the right kinds of questions and doing your due diligence before you sign some SEO contract that's going to end up providing a whole lot of nothing. All right, so SEO, there's definitely a lot of value in it. Placing at the top of searches, at the top of Google for people looking for you is definitely where you want to be. You can do it on a pay-per-click basis, and you can do it on an organic. Google says you're the best fit for that search. That's what SEO is all about. It's coming up organically in the top results, ideally in the top 3. Every notch down you go in that top 10 is a pretty significant decline in the click-through rate, meaning the amount of people that actually click on like the number 2 spot versus the number 6 spot. Seems pretty obvious, but the difference is pretty drastic. I'd encourage you even to look at and Google click-through rates for top 10 search results. And there's some analysis that different companies that are legit have done on what click-through rates look like and how much they fall once you go from the first spot all the way down to spot number 10, page 2, you're gonna get pretty much nothing. So it's gotta be the top 10, but it's gotta be feasible. There's too many companies out there that will set expectations as if you're going to go out there and, let's just say in the mortgage space where leadPops, where my company, this is where we're heavily invested, you're not going to be able to compete at a national level or at even a statewide level for these really short tail, meaning there's just a couple keywords, right? Or 1 or 2 keywords in that phrase, and it's highly, highly competitive. So a state, let's just say California, and the words mortgage rates, you're probably never going to come up for California mortgage rates. Just way too competitive. You're competing with Zillow and Bankrate and LendingTree and billion-dollar companies who have a content machine at their disposal, SEO teams working around the clock to pump out content, doing backlinks, doing all the crazy stuff you got to do inside of a website, outside of a website to get you to place well. So you gotta, if you're going to do this, be realistic with what you're targeting. And I've seen way too many people come to me sharing an SEO proposal where it wasn't even covered. There was no end goal. We're going to do SEO, and there was not even a list of the keywords that were being targeted. So that's where I would start. It's like, what are we placing for? What are we targeting? I want to know who's already placing for those keywords. Do your own research. I want to know a list of the keywords we're going after. I'm going to do my own searches to see what we're competing with. I'm going to use a tool like Google Keyword Planner or SEMrush. Check out SEMrush.com, amazing tool. Been using it for years. Really cool analysis of websites, domain names, search traffic, search volume, keywords, pay-per-click ads, everything you want to know from an SEM standpoint, SEMrush.com. Not getting paid for that. It's just a great tool. I recommend you use it or check it out. But use that to see how often is that keyword getting typed in? Is there enough volume to justify spending, in many cases, thousands of dollars a month to go after something that you might uncover there's not even any search volume for it? Sounds good. You might be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll come up for that. If I came up for that, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna make so much money, they're gonna find me. I'm on the first page of Google. We're gonna do a lot of business as a result of that. Then you actually look into the research behind that keyword and you're like, oh shoot, nobody's typing that in. Why are we spending any money, effort, time going after stuff people aren't targeting? And too many SEO companies, they'll just take your money and they don't provide that kind of analysis. They hope you don't go and do your research. They're hoping you're uninformed. And again, I hate to paint the whole industry that way. It's not an industry-wide scenario, but there's just a lot of people out there in my business at leadPops working with clients that we've seen sending us their contracts, sending a proposal, sending what the plan is, and we're looking at it thinking, first off, this set of keywords, you're never going to come up for those. This set right here, nobody's typing them in, or there's just no anything provided for what we're targeting or what we're going after at all. It's very ambiguous and it's very general, and it's like, what's the end goal? What are we targeting? What are we going to be paying for? So I recommend you do your homework, look into that stuff, use the tools out there at your disposal. If you do a search and you find that it's nothing but billion-dollar companies coming up in the top 10, it's going to be really hard to compete with those guys and beat them for a search. When it comes down to search phrases, you want to go after long tail, meaning longer, more specific, more detailed searches, more words packed into those search phrases. A lot of times there's a lot less volume, but you also get a more educated, more serious consumer that knows exactly what they're looking for, and there are opportunities to place for those kinds of long tail keywords, and you can compete for a lot of those. But it does take time and effort. It does take a commitment to that stuff. You know, if you're competing for something really, really high end, it might take a year of a lot of work and money and time to even place or crack that first page of Google. And then is the volume there to justify spending a lot of money and putting a lot of effort into a campaign for a keyword that might only get typed in 100 times per month? And then you always have to look at, if that gets typed in 100 times per month, how many of those searches are actual consumers and how many of them are guys like you or ladies like you that are trying to see what they're competing with and who they're placing for. A lot of that kind of search volume is actually done by people in that business and search engine companies that are trying to look for that stuff. So a big chunk of searches for any keyword is always people in the business, SEO companies, marketers typing stuff in, searching online, not necessarily all consumer activity. So you can't look at any search volume and think that's 100 people per month looking for a mortgage company. Maybe it's only like 50 actual consumers per month. The other 50 are mortgage originators and SEO companies and marketers, stuff like that, that's bloating that search volume. So stuff to know and think about. I think SEO is a great play. We drive a good amount of traffic for SEO, for leadPops, for organic key phrases. We put a bunch of time and effort into it. We build a lot of content out, really long form, detailed content with a lot of keywords packed into it, done the right way. All that stuff matters and it's worth it. But again, know what you're going into, be educated. Don't just sign a contract without knowing what are we going after, what's the search volume, who's competing for those keywords, who am I stepping in and trying to compete with, because that will all tell you how much is it worth it to spend that kind of money and effort to go after that stuff. Or is your budget and your money and your time best spent on some other marketing effort? So, you know, SEO is a long-term play. You know, while you're building SEO out, you should be looking at pay-per-click, Facebook ads, Instagram, banner ads, blogging, all that good stuff, video. And then in the background, you're working on your SEO, and all the other marketing you're doing will support your SEO efforts. So lots to kind of look at and think about there, but overall, just do your homework. Don't just sign a contract. If it sounds too good to be true when it comes to SEO, it is. And just be an educated marketer, because there's a lot of great information out there, but it's really, really easy to get sucked into something by someone who's a smooth talker and who sells a lot of their not snake oil. Some cases it is, but you know, they're selling a product or a service that is not really realistic. So mortgage industry, really competitive. Real estate, insurance, really competitive verticals. You've got not only a lot of people in your market competing for those same things, but a lot of big national players, big portal websites that are competing for that stuff as well. So do some homework. Hope this video was helpful. If you've got an SEO horror story or success story, please do share in the comments below. Like, share this video if you think it's helpful with your friends and colleagues. And I'll catch you soon with another Dartboard Marketing video.